Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices for Tuesday, September the 28th. And this is how we've been looking at the DAX. And what I mean by that is we're going to start looking at it as a bullish count now, because the US markets have got 5 waves moving up, and we can get 5 waves out of this here moving up as well. So at this stage, we can look at going long above this the last high here, but we'll go in and readdress this. But I'll just leave this bigger picture here for a moment. Let's just go in, because we've got this as a corrective pattern. We're looking at this as being the low, and we're looking at this as being wave 1, as we've probably mentioned yesterday as well. So just on the 1 hour chart, and then we'll go to the tick chart just to refine this a little bit. So from the low here, I've had it this way before, but I think we might be looking at 1 degree smaller, but that's another video. In this case, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for 1. If this was, if we looked at this as the A, the B and the C here, and this down for 1 here and back for 2 here, this wave 2 coming back here has spent more time than wave 1, so that shouldn't be the case for a wave 2. So this is more likely to be a B wave at this point. And then wave C here. Now there's a good case that low is already in play there as well, but we just need to do the basics. So the basics are finding that low, that high, and looking at it like that. So it can pull back down to those levels. So what we need to do is just find, obviously if the market's going to push up, if it's going to pull back here, then we'll look at this pretty much. Well, I'll go and have a look at this, but this is why I'm saying that in the first instance we'll just go long above the top there. That would make that suffice, but we'll get closer to it. That we'll just need to do that on the tick chart. And a bit more data. How much do we need? Just get a bit more. Okay, so from the low there, we're going to get rid of that. We're going to use that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and a little bit messy in there, but in fact we don't need a lot of these. We can bring these over. So we need to understand, this makes a nice B wave here because of that little triangle sort of patternish there, and then that, so that's quite nice as that B wave. And the C wave, well, we need to understand the C wave coming down. So I wonder, I think I want to leave those there for the moment. So, but I'll just copy these just so we can get an idea of this here. I don't know if that's right what I'm doing. I'll just check it in a minute. But there should be some sort of common length between wave A and wave C. That's why I don't think it's going to come all the way down here. And of course I've taken that from the top here and dropped it down to the second low, and that's cool as well. So we could just use these little dudes here. Let's just get some idea of this. Doesn't really give me I mean, I was looking at this as a B wave, but doesn't really give me a nice C wave here for that. Got 5 here. Oh yeah, there it is. So I could use that. So I'll put that over there. It's a bit big compared to wave 2, but that means, do we have 5 waves in here? That's a little bit hard to read, isn't it? I mean, this one here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Makes a nice third wave here. So we could probably use this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here for 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, but it's really quite high for a wave 4 at that point in the off hours with the futures market pushing it around. It's still within range here. It wants to go up. So let me just think about this for a moment. I mean, as far as the crow flies, we should be getting one more down here, but the other point from that top to that low there, that's the 50-60% here. Just looking for the safe trade. So the 5 here is always called 5 the midpoint. It's always halfway between something. So this is all a group 2, so I call it 65, 72 and 80. So we're in sort of group 2 here for this. So I guess if we got, and with that's the 61.8%. So let's just assume for a moment that that makes a move up here. If that gives us the classic trading levels pattern at that point, then we can look to go long at that point. It's not much improvement, is it? I suppose you could go have a shot across the bow here for that. Would we get trapped? You could get trapped there, that's the thing. I mean, shit, if you're going to do that, you might as well go the whole hog, really, isn't it? And just sort of cut through here a bit lower. Cut through here somewhere. Yeah, I don't want to get too close. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get trapped just in case that, you know, because on the flip side to this is that 61.8% down much further. I just don't like spikes. So, you know, we could end up down here. That's what we need to be careful of. And if we're going to go down there, have I counted that wrong? Let me just have a quick look. 1, 2, 3, 5. Doot. Okay, that's okay. That seems to be okay. There's a few rough edges there. I'm a little bit unsure about that. I mean, I'm thinking, could I have made a mistake and this wave 5 needs to be down here like this? I mean, if it was going to go down, that would be wave 1 there, and that would be wave 2 there, and it would be going down from that point. And this would be the third wave going down. But then, you know, it doesn't really give a good relationship between wave A and C as it stands at the moment. There's a bit of equality about that. Okay, look, the safe trade is on 15,650, okay? That's for the DAX. And the stock 50, once again, I'm a bit... I mean, we've got this situation here with wave 3. We've got this move here that is in 3 waves, right? So it kind of means that... Where's my... I mean, it's just... My thing is just that the wave 4 is just too small for that degree of structure, and it also hasn't pulled down to, you know, close to its, well, even its wave 4, 1 lesser degree. So I'm wondering if I need to restructure things and put this wave 4 here for that, you know, under there for that. Because it's in 3 waves here, it means that it's probably not going to come all the way back down here. I mean, if it was 5 waves here, then sure, we'd have 5 waves, 3 waves, and 5 waves. But yeah, we're not thinking that's the case. So we're sort of changing this around a little bit. Let's just go, can't remember what I've updated here. It doesn't really matter. So this is from yesterday. We're playing out 2 scenarios. We were looking at moving... well, we're still looking at the old story is the ABC here for the A wave, and then an ABC for the B wave, and that's still pretty much intact. That's looking quite good. We'll have a look at that, and then basically down for the C wave here of wave 4. And now we're starting to talk about this. Yesterday, this is wave 4, but I'm just going to delete these here because... leave all that. I'm just going to shrink that. I'm just going to slowly move all these across because I still need to confirm it. So the move up here for the stock 50 is it's got a nice 3-wave move there. So it can be an ABC for the B wave up here. But once again, we'd need to see that, move lower at that point. So based on that, let's just go to the hourly chart. That's not going to give us much, but must have been working on the tick chart, so I'll go there. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bit dodgy. Doesn't give me 2, 3. Doesn't really give me stuff there either. But that's coming up quite high there now. Doesn't want to go down. It's being pushed up. So maybe I'll have to push that across there. Or is there some other way of looking at that? Can I have that as wave 3 and that as wave 4 and that as wave 5 and make that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, an A and a B? No, it's all a bit messy in here. That doesn't. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2 is a bit messy and that's really skewed in there. But let's just call that. That'd have to be a C wave anyway. So that needs a bit of attention. That's okay. That's 1, 2. That's okay. Let me just bring in some more data now for this. 20 should do it. So we've got our A wave, our B wave and our C wave. Obviously all these markets are going to move the same, but I don't have 5 waves here for this going to the upside because this is a different scenario on this low here. So in this case we've got an impulse wave up here, then we've got a corrective wave, and I've just been, what we've been doing is just been counting to the upside. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and all of that 3rd wave, 4th wave, 5th wave. I've rearranged this a little bit from last night, but from wave 4, looking at this as wave 5, it doesn't finish very well. But it does give us just 3 waves up. So in a nutshell, we've either got wave 1, 2, 3 and ABC for 4 and then moving up at that point. So we can put that wave 3 up there. So yeah, I'm not too sure about this one. Once again, we could look at this as wave 1 and wave 2 and then down for wave 1 again here. So the only way we could go long here, in line with the rest of the world, so to speak, is understanding anything really above that would be considered, worthwhile going long on at that point. But you'd need that. This is all of group 2 here, so you'd need that 4180 as the support there. So a classic trading levels pattern at that point. So you need that first high above the level. Otherwise, this can just, I wouldn't jump it too early because it could just give us a 3-wave move to here and then drop again from that point. Okay, so just be a little bit careful about that, and if you do get lucky and get that right, then look to add on this level with a classic trading levels pattern here as well. Alrighty, I'll leave it at that. Okay, oh no, FTSE, sorry about that. So with the FTSE here, in the how we've had it is we've had wave 3 over here, looking for the A wave here. And there's 5 waves up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the A wave, a B wave, and the only way I can make that B wave corrective is by putting the C wave there. Well, of course, the other way would be having the B wave down here and the C wave over here for that. So I think it's a good idea. It's just a reminder that we could sort of leave that there for a bit, and let's just see what plays out here as well. But that said, if that was going to move up, well, then we really need to be long as well. But the size of this here, if that is correct, all of that, then we'd expect the B wave to have some sort of relationship to the size of this, Normally, you know, when you look at wave two is simple, and then wave 4 is complex. That's the same with corrections as well. If the A wave is complex, then wave B will be simple. If wave A is simple, then wave B will be complex. And we can see that wave A is complex, so wave B should be simple. So we do have 5 waves there, and we could probably look at this as an ABC pattern here for the B wave, and then up for the C wave at that point. So we could, you know, I think we should just consider that for a while. And on the hourly chart, there'll be a slightly different count where we're looking at it more bullish. And I moved this across this low here of being a smaller wave 4. And then looking at that as wave 1 and 2 in here, and 3 and 4 and 5 here for wave 1, an A and a B and a C wave here. And then moving up. Now, I've got that sitting above that high there, but of course we could look at the 7,100, the first minor level. So we will need that first high above the level there anyway. So you have to wait for that reference point high. You know the story, you might get a second high in here and so on. So you could take that. But as it stands, yeah, that's what we're looking for. I'll put that on the second high just to do that. So yeah, also too with this impulse wave up here, the 50-60% retracement level is back down just below the 7,000. So we need to be mindful that this is just not wave 1 here and 2 here and 3, 4, 5 coming down. So that will help take that away from that, rather than just going long across the top there. You could go long across the top there, but just make it a small, you know, half a position. Yeah, and that's about the size of it really. So I'm not sure if wave 2 should go down here or up here, but being long, you know, above here would be the safe trade. Yep. And if it does come down here, well, then we just need to count 5 waves of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. But there seems to be equality between that drop and this move here. Do you know what I mean? They're kind of the same distance. So yeah, that could be it. And also too, you know, when you look at the US banks, you know, they're driving the market higher, and yeah, so it seems to be, I don't know about Europe, but in Australia, our Australian banks can follow the US banks. So I'm not sure, but it'd be worthwhile checking your biggest banks and having a look at, I do cover now and again Morgan's, JPM and Goldman Sachs and Bank of America, which I did this morning in the Australian video. So you can have a look at their wave counts there and have a look at your own banks in Europe and see if they're the same, because those banks, if they're going to follow the US banks, then those banks are going to drive the indices higher. That's what will be driving these higher. So I'll just leave it at that. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.